Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the Big D Coin Channel. This is DC looking at some Kennedy half-dollar coins from 1976. 1975 also, it turns out, because they didn't make any coins in 1975 except the half dollars for the American bicentennial half. So this says 1776 to 1976, but most, if not all of these were made in 1975 because they knew the bicentennial was coming and they wanted to make a bunch of them. This is the Kennedy half dollar. It's a copper nickel clad copper coin. If we tip it up, we see that you can actually see the copper in, kind of the copper sandwich. Copper nickel on the outside, front and back, copper on the inside. It is 11.34 grams. It's just a big, heavy coin. 30.61 millimeters and 2.15 millimeters in thickness. It's round, it's milled. It has these, the milled edges around the outside, around the rim. You can see the front, it says Liberty at the top. It says in God in front of Kennedy, we trust behind Kennedy. 1776 in a dot in 1976 on the front. And then right here under the neck, you'll see that there is a little kind of intertwined G and an R. And let's magnify that a little bit. So it's a G backed with an R. So this side's a G, that side's an R. That's for Gilroy Roberts, who was the engraver of these coins. In 1976, they made a bunch of these coins at all the mints because the 200th anniversary of the United States was a huge thing. So this, of course, there's no mint mark here. This is where it would be. This means it's a Philadelphia mint coin, $234.3 million. In other words, they made about $120 million worth, or 234.3 million copies of this. It's not even an uncirculated. It's only going to be worth about $1.75 unless it's spectacular. The Denver Mint coin, they made actually more. They made 287.5 million. And again, that's going to be worth about $1.75 unless it's spectacular. And this is actually a pretty nice copy, isn't it? A little bit of a chip there, but really, really nice copy. Both of these are from an uncirculated mint set. So they did have uncirculated mint sets in 1965, and they made the so-called P and D sets, or the Philadelphia blank and the Denver. And the P and D sets, they made 1.9 million. They sold them for about $6 back then. They're selling for about $9 now. However, they also had some silver-clad San Francisco mint sets, which they sold. The silver-clad San Francisco mint sets sold for $9 and are worth about $19 now. They're worth a lot of that money just in silver alone. So they did make a proof set also, a silver-clad proof set, and they made about 4 million of the proof set. How can you tell the difference? Well, Kennedy's looks a little bit different on these. And so when you get them, how do you know if it's a proof set or a S set? Well, this is how you can tell. And this is how I can tell this is a proof one. Can you tell the difference in the buffing or the polishing on the head? This means it's from a proof set, and I can actually prove it's from a proof set because they came in like a blue thing with the bicentennial thing on the top. So this is the proof set, and inside it says United States Bicentennial Silver Proof Set. So you can tell just by looking at how the polished head, Kennedy's head is polished, but you can also tell by getting it actually out of the set, and it'll come in this kind of container. Some of these will sometimes be open. If you tip it up, you can see that it is a silver set. It's not 90% silver, it's silver cladding, so silver over the top of copper. So it is not the old style 90%, but it's still worth a lot. The particular silver ones, it's $1.75 to $2 for a non-silver, and it's about $4 for a silver. And if you look up the silver value, you'll see that the silver value on these coins is about $4. So when you start looking at the silver clad ones, they're not worth too much more than the silver value, but it's nice getting that set. And the gem of that set, of course, is I don't know if you saw it when we were looking at it, but the gem of that set is that Eisenhower dollar. So if you can get the proof set with the Eisenhower dollar, the silver one, that's what you really want. And you're certainly willing to take the half, but if you can get that silver dollar, that's great. Now, this coin, we've only looked at the front so far, but if you look at the back, you'll see it has something very interesting on it. So the Kennedy halves, when they first came out, and here's a 1974 Kennedy half. We see 1974. Copper, nickel clad copper. We tip it up. No silver in this one. But this is how it looked when they first came out from 1964. Even the silver 64 had this on the back. United States of America, the eagle holding the olive branch and the arrows. E pluribus unum here, the stars above the eagle and the kind of balloon-like things. Stars all the way around the outside, and it says $half here. Of course, by 1964, we had all 50 states, so you'll see the 50 stars going around, and then you'll see these dots here. United States of America, $half. Nowhere it says 50 cents. Now, when they came out with the bicentennial coin, of course, they wanted to go back to where one of the first capitals of the United States, and that was Philadelphia. And then, of course, Independence Hall here. The other capital of the United States in the early days was New York. So in 1976 and 1976 only, they had this on the back. Now remember, they didn't print any coins in 1975 for the Kennedy halves. And then, so this is a 74, no 75s. Here's a 76. And then I'm going to bring back the 77. So we'll see that the 77, which this one is, there we go, 1977. Again, this is a Philly. They went right back to that eagle holding the olive branch and the arrows. So that's our 1976 $half, made in 1975 and 1976, made in copper, nickel clad copper, and in silver, and made in a variety of sets. A proof set, a uncirculated set, and a special silver bicentennial set with 3 coins in it, a silver half, a silver dollar, and a silver quarter. Oh, let me show you the quarter too while we're at it. And there's the silver quarter from the 3 coin set, and of course San Francisco Mint, and you can see how Washington's clearly a proof quarter. All right, that's all we have today from DC on Big D coins. We'd love to have you subscribe to Big D Coins and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.